Well, let's unpack Putin's visit with Alexander Titov, a Russia affairs analyst and lecturer at Queen's University, Belfast. Alexander, good to have you on the News Hour. Do you think that the Russian president is using this trip to, of course, strengthen his partnerships and alliances in parts of Asia, specifically North Korea and Vietnam?
Well, of course, yeah, that's the purpose of his trip. So it's the first trip in 20 years. He went there just as he was elected in 2024 year. It's a very different trip. At the time, Russia was integrating with the West, was supporting various measures against North Korea. Now it's completely fallen out with the West. It is under the sanction itself, and North Korea, in particular, is becoming one of the few countries Russia can actually develop its relations with Vietnam as well, but that's for slightly different context. So in that respect, yeah, I mean, it's a big sea change if you compare 2000 and 2024. Russia's place in the world is very different from what it was when Putin took over.
And what about the timing of all of this? It's also coming, 2 years into the war in Ukraine. What will Russia be looking to get from North Korea in terms of weapons? And then North Korea, what can they get from Russia in exchange?
Well, I think the Russia has been quite keen to get its hands on parts of the North Korean vast arsenal, and as well as production capacities, because they have the same system. They're interchangeable artillery shells, missiles, and so forth, as well as labor. So Russia is in standoff against the whole of the Western world. It's military-industrial based. And it can do with any help it can get, including from North Korea, which is kind of, as I said, has a substantial powers itself, industrial powers. With North Korea, it's been under severe UN sanctions for a long time. And of course, there's only two countries which it can deal with directly. The only two countries, apart from South Korea, which has border with, is China, which is by far its major economic partner, and Russia. So actually opening up, apart from transferring technologies, but just developing economic links, because obviously they're not sending weapons for nothing. They're getting things in return, from oil to technologies to industrial equipment and whatnot. For North Korea, of course, it's a fantastic opportunity to developed much closer relationship, which it didn't have before, because of Russia was basically following the UN sanctions instigated by the West. Now it doesn't feel obliged to do it anymore, and for North Korea, it's a wonderful news.
Do you think some of these exchanges between Russia and North Korea could also pertain to nuclear weapons? They are, of course, only 2 of the 9 nuclear-armed countries in the world.
Well, North Korea is has already have nuclear weapons. I think they develop them independently. The nuclear weapons technology itself is a very extremely precious and sensitive issues. I don't think they'll be participating in nuclear technology directly, but in other spheres. You've seen that the North Korean leader Kim, he went to see the new Russian space center in the Far East, which is built as a launching pad for new generation of Russian missiles space program. So I think some transfers in that sphere could be, some cooperation, etc., would be quite possible. And I mean, but there is a vast amount of cooperation, industrial cooperation, economic cooperation, energy, and so forth, which North Korea can benefit from Russia, because, as I said, it's been very much closed off from the rest of the world, except for China and now Russia, which is quite 2 very big countries, and it's good news for North Korea and bad news for everybody who was trying to contain them or punish them for developing nuclear weapons.
Yeah, how is the rest of the world going to be looking at this visit? Specifically, the West, is Putin trying to send a message here?
Well, I think there's messages very clear that you would not be able to completely isolate us. Although, I don't think many people in Russia will be looking prospect of having kind of Korea-style economy and life developing. But yeah, so in terms of its dealings with North Korea, it's certainly a message to the West that you won't be able to isolate us. And, we still have capacity to be an important player and also a nuisance in all in all parts of the world, not just in Europe. So we're talking about very sensitive from U.S. point of view security region in terms of security. North Korea, China, the Taiwan nearby and so forth. And Russia is actually an active player there. So it's not just confined to Europe. It has very much worldwide ambitions and can change the balance of power in a faraway region such as Northeast Asia as well as Europe.
Alexander Titov in Belfast. Really good to get your analysis. Thank you so much.